Well, I've started doing some work on the chassis, but I'm starting to run into some issues. I mentioned in the past, I'm going to mention it again. You should really have the chassis in front of you or review it or look at photos when you're ordering parts, because I went off the parts list and I think I'm getting burned again. So for example, this guy, they call on the parts list a 1.8K 2 watt. It's R85 for it. This is the original Zenith factory info. It doesn't show a parts locator though, which is one thing I like about the Sams, is that they do show a photo and call out to it. But I traced out the wiring and the schematic, and I'm pretty darn sure that's it. So I ordered up a 3 watt resistor, thinking give myself a little bit of overhead. That doesn't look like a 2 watt resistor to me. It looks like a 5 watt resistor. Wire wound power sand coated resistor. So I'm going to double check to see what the Sams has to say. Maybe it's a revision change, I don't know. But I don't feel comfortable putting a 2 or 3 watt resistor in place of that guy. Now, I did dig through my parts from other projects, and I do have a 2K 10 watt. I can use that for now. It should be 1800. This is 2000. That's pretty close, but that's one issue. Another one is this guy, which had been this. Yellow, purple, yellow. 470,000 picofarad or 0.47 microfarad, 200 volt cap. Okay, fine, I put a 0.47 400 volt cap in there, we're good, right? Probably, but in the past I've mentioned that some sets have the horizontal yoke winding coupled to the flyback via a capacitor, so all the energy to the flyback horizontal yoke goes through that capacitor. This is one of those situations. You want to use a high-grade cap for this. And I'm pretty sure this is just your run-of-the-mill Bumblebee paper foil cap. Might be oil-filled. But you should really use a high-grade cap there. And by that, what do I mean by high-grade? I mean polypropylene foil, not film, more robust. An orange drop, in other words. So I think at the very least, these 2 parts I need to upgrade from what I had originally ordered. Alright. Down here, made some more progress. Oh, by the way, all these power resistors have been open so far, just like in the other porthole chassis I worked on. So these 3 guys have been replaced so far. One of these was a dual. I used these 2 guys, dual 200. We're in good shape there. This guy, Candome, mounted the chassis. Yeah, it's open. 15K. I have to double check to see what do they spec that at as. I don't get how Zenith did this. How the parts are not in numeric order. R38, R63, R79, and they're not in order of the value, like ascending by resistance values. You really have to hunt around. I'm looking for a 15K. Okay, it's probably this guy. So they say it's 7 watts. Remember, parts back then could not tolerate heat as well. So, in today's world, if you got a chassis mount resistor that was that size, it'd probably be 100 watt or 200 watt. Well, I ordered up this guy, and what does it say on the bag? It says 12.5 watt 15K. What does it say on the part? 10 watt. Not 12.5 watt, 10 watt. 15K. Now 10 watt is still better than 7, the original part. Well, look how tiny that is. So I may want to order up a larger cap for that, just for my own sake, for being able to wire it in. Because if I go with this little dinky guy and drill 2 new holes, I don't know, these wires are going to be long enough. So in the case of, I should have checked the physical dimensions of it, but I don't have the chassis in front of me when I ordered this part. Otherwise I would have ordered a much larger one, even though it's way over spec, just for the sake of being able to mount it more conveniently. Another thing, oddball here, 0.33 microfarad cap. I had to go digging. This is the only one I have left in stock. Gotta work, it's fine, but it's radial rather than axial, meaning the leads come out on the same side instead of the ends. So I'll have to manipulate it a bit to fit in there. Otherwise, everything's going fine. I'm also starting to take a look at the power supply in preparation for doing a first power up. Now there's 3 bleeder resistors in here going right off the main B plus, and then having taps for different circuits. We've got a 3500 candome mounted to the chassis. It's still good. 10K that is open, and then I think it's a 6.8K that's still good, but I'm going to replace it anyways because it looks pretty crummy. Well, plans changed a little bit. I was looking ahead to the next porthole set I'm going to be working on. I realized I needed to order some parts for that. So I placed an order a few days ago for that set, and I included the parts I wanted to get for this set, and they just arrived last night. So I started installing them. There is the nice 0.33 microfarad cap to replace the big old bumblebee that was there. Got a proper 150 ohm power resistor and a 1.8K power resistor. And for this guy, so this dinky one exceeds the wattage rating of that guy, but as I mentioned, it's just so small it's tough to work with, so I got this big old 50 watt guy. Vastly more than is needed, but even so, it's still about half the size of the original, but easier to work with. So I'll drill a couple holes in for that. I think a number 6 screw will fit in those holes there. Here is the pulse rated high quality 0.47 microfarad cap. I realize it looks just like that one, and it's actually slightly smaller, but the specs on this are outstanding. And it was about $5, so this better really do an outstanding job in this application. I think I have everything I need now. Expanded working out. Just replaced that guy. So we got a couple more down there. I know I was going to power it up before replacing all these caps, but while I was waiting for these to arrive, I started clipping out a few more. A number of them are a little tricky to get at, so it's been a little slow going. You know, like stuff like that where you got to move parts and there's some delicate things in the way. But this, by the way, is the contrast control. So I've seen this in a few other sets too. So the video amp is back here, and they want to run as short a lead as possible from the output of the video amp to the CRT. That's why it's located back here. But you need to vary bias on one of the tubes to vary the gain to effectively make a contrast control. So you could put this control up here, but then you got to run long wires through the whole set, which could pick up noise. So in the interest of signal quality, you put the control right underneath the tube socket right there where it's being used to keep everything as short and compact as possible, and you put a 2-foot long shaft on the control. That's what that's all about. Similarly with this guy, which is the fine tuning for the tuner, and that goes with a belt up into the tuner up above. Slight change in plans. I figure since I'm already well into working on this upper chassis, I might as well just finish it before we try a power up. Just have a few more paper caps to replace. I'll leave the original electrolytics in for now. Speaking of, you may recall there was this odd looking one tacked in up here, and yeah, that is most definitely not original. It's actually a 3-section cap, and they clipped out 2 of the sections. Well, thanks to the Sam's Photo Effect that shows a photo of the underside of the chassis, I know that there originally was a cap up there. 10 microfarad cap. It is this guy on the schematic. Oh, where did you go? This guy. C24AA on the Zenith Service Info 10 microfarad cap. Going up here to provide some additional filtering for the noise limiter inverter. The replacement was 15 microfarad, so that cap must have gone bad. While seemingly that was pretty much the only thing that ever got replaced in this set. Seems like an odd thing to go out. You think the power supply caps would go first, but anywho, I tacked in a replacement. Of course, it's much smaller now. It's a little guy hiding back there. I don't want to keep bending and unbending these tabs because they're going to snap off from metal fatigue, so I'm not going to reopen it up. Then I got the one paper cap that was down there. Resistors so far have been pretty well in spec, so at least with the ones I've tested, I haven't had to replace too many except for the ones on the horizontal output tubes. Those are pretty far off. So this whole area has been rebuilt now with all the correct parts. Got those 2 new high-grade polypropylene Vichy capacitors. Mostly I have work left to do up in this area. So I believe we got the video output amp. I guess right around in here somewhere. And I think we got some sync separator tubes up in here as well. So after that, I do need to do some work on the power supply, which I have not touched yet. As I mentioned earlier, we do have an open power resistor or 2 in here. So there aren't that many parts here. I'll just replace all this stuff. And then we will finally give this a try. Alright guys, I finished replacing all the paper caps on the main chassis, replaced the open power resistors on the power supply audio amp. All the original electrolytics are still in place, and I haven't tested any of the tubes. Let's give it a try. Got it plugged into the Variac. I'm going to use the power switch on the set itself, which is this guy. Well, I check the current draw. About 2.5 amps. Seems reasonable. I gotta be careful because remember, metal cone, picture tube. Speaker crackle, that's good. Are you kidding me? We've got a raster. So, yeah, now doing what a shotgun recap, I guess is the term people use, is not generally regarded as the best thing to do, but it's not like I haven't recapped the TV before, so that's why I just went for it on this guy. And obviously we still have issues, but I haven't adjusted any of the controls. I'm not feeding it a signal yet, but there we go. Brightness control. Contrast, something. So I guess we might as well try feeding in a signal. Not really sure. Okay, and the tuner's doing something, because when I'm changing it, I'm getting static, and I can hear a little something on the speaker. Yeah. Very cool. Alright, let's give it a try with a signal applied. Alrighty. No idea how to tell what channel this is. So I'm just going to go around the dial. It'd be easier to leave this in one position and change my signal source channel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not looking good. I just went through the whole channel from 2 to 13 and nothing's coming in. Boy, am I glad I stopped when I did, because this filter cap is getting really, really, really hot. If I'd kept this running much longer, I think that would have vented. So, next up, we're going to replace this cap.